Afternoon, everybody. I'm Nate Eaton. Thanks for being here today. I wanted to give you an update on the travel situation with my family. Thank you. So many of you have messaged me and are interested in the updates. Last night I went to a concert with my parents and a few people asked, what happened with the luggage? So let me back up and give you the background. Right now, by the way, I'm in American Fork, Utah. I did some interviews this morning for a project I'm working on and pulled over and I'm going to grab a bite to eat for lunch. My family, my wife and our kids left to see her parents, spend a week with her parents on Tuesday or Wednesday. Their flight went from Idaho Falls to Denver, and then there was supposed to be about an hour layover before it went Denver to Richmond. And the Richmond airport is right near my parents, my in-laws' home. Well, they got to Denver, and then Delta had a massive breakdown of a tech issue that halted all their planes. Delay after delay after delay, gate change. They end up canceling the flight around midnight, and they tell Erica, my wife, that the next flight they have for her to get to Richmond is Friday, today. So what she's supposed to do for 2 days in Denver. She ends up finding a flight that got her to Dulles in D.C., and then that was delayed too, but she ended up getting there with the kids. They ended up being a red eye. Her parents met her in D.C., then drove her back down to their home, but the bags never arrived. So she called United, waited on hold forever, finally got someone. They're like, all right, we'll send the bags. They're on their way to Idaho Falls. She's like, no, I don't need the bags in Idaho Falls. I need them in Richmond. Then they said, okay, we'll send them to Dulles because that's where you flew. And she goes, I don't need them in Dulles. I'm not in DC, and it's about a 2.5, 3 hour drive to get them. Send them to Richmond and actually send them to my house. And she really had to push this receptionist, this lady on the phone. She was not helpful at all, according to Erica. And she's like, just send me the bag to my parents' house, not to the airport, whatever. Meanwhile, Erica had to go get clothes for all the kids and for her and, contact solution, all sorts of stuff you need when you travel. So she did that yesterday. And then the bag arrived today, but it went to the wrong house. And fortunately, my father-in-law saw it on another house's porch and went and got the bag. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been there. All their stuff would have been gone. So they have the bag, they have their luggage, they're out having a fun day today at an amusement park. And I don't want to bag on United. We've flown United before and have had a good experience. We've also flown and had bad experiences. But one of the best experiences a few years ago was when we flew on Christmas Eve. There was a guy on the United at Denver who was at the gate who was so friendly. Emmy gave him a box of chocolates. We traveled with a bunch of chocolates that day to spread Christmas cheer. He was so nice, and Emmy ended up doing an interview with him for 7 Questions a few years ago. So nothing against United other than this situation was not handled well. And I realized that every airport was affected by this from United, but man, it's a different story if it's, me traveling alone or if Erica had been traveling alone. But when you're with 3 kids and you get $15 food vouchers and you don't know what's happening. Anyway, I just wish there was a better way that this could be communicated to customers. And it's like can you imagine if you went to the mall and you were treated this way, like at Macy's or Nordstrom or Dillard's or JCPenney or Kohl's? You would immediately return your stuff and go somewhere else and never go back. Airlines, you really can't do that. So I don't know what the answer is, but I'm just glad they're there and safe and that they got the luggage, and we're going to hopefully get some reimbursement for all the stuff Erica had to buy. But, it could be worse. They could still be stuck in Denver. If that had been the case, they probably would have turned around and flown home. So thank you all for your concern and update. I realize that in the grand scheme of things, these are minor problems, but I appreciate your concern. Now what I need from you is some suggestions because it's my mom's birthday and I'm taking her and my dad out for dinner tonight. They live in the Harriman, Riverton area, and we don't want to travel too far. But if you have good suggestions, they're more, I don't want to say traditional in their food ways. I guess I should say I'm really traditional because I don't like to explore anything exotic. But if you have good suggestions for a good place to eat dinner, put them below. Ultimately, my mom's going to choose, but I'll have her read through all the comments, and then I'll let you know where we end up going for dinner. And then I got to pick up all my stuff at IKEA. The van's been lonely, just me driving around. I'll get the IKEA furniture, and then the fun begins of getting it put up. I actually think we're going to hire someone to put up all the cabinets. So if you're in the Idaho Falls area and you're a handyman and looking for a job, we might be looking for somebody to help install and put all these furniture pieces together. Okay, I'm going to grab lunch. I have another interview coming up here in about an hour, but thanks for your interest. Bye.